I'm Tangles. This is my garage, and this is my car. Still don't have a seat in here. I don't think I recorded what ended up happening. Tried to fit the seat. It wouldn't go. It just would not go. I couldn't get this one in. This bolt in, and what I just ended up doing was just fucking the thread, basically. There's a bolt that I ran through it. There's, oh no, that one. Excuse me. That one I didn't. That one I didn't. That one I did. So I'm gonna have to re-tap it. So you know, I cracked shits with it and walked away. No, I got the taps now. Tap and die set here, somewhere over here. If I can't get it with tapping though, these are called helicoil, or in this case a recoil kit. These little spring items replace your thread. So what you do, so if I can't tap this and have it good enough, I'll use these. So you put a bigger size hole in, and then you tap it at the bigger size, which suits the outside of the spring, and then use a special tool to screw that into the thread that you cut. You snap that tang off at the bottom, and then the inside of that matches the original thread, which in this case is M10 by 1.25, which is what these are. So yeah, I've got a fallback option there if I fuck the thread even further. It comes with the tools. I don't know how much this is to mates. They are a little bit expensive. They're not per unit, but because you got to buy the whole thing, or you got to buy packets of fucking heaps of the actual helicoils themselves. So yeah, gonna run a tap through it, see if I can't save it. Okay, let's see if this finger tight I can get it to grab hold of the original thread. It's gonna be pretty tricky. Pretty sure that's on the original thread there. Yeah, I think the fuck thread is high because the pressure from the seat was pulling it up, so sort of levering the bolt up when I was trying to put it in. So to the low side will be the winning option. I'm gonna go get the tool to wind it in. Okay, I've got it started, and gently, very gently, winding it in. I'm just cleaning up the thread, I'm not cutting a whole thread, so it should be fairly easy. If you're actually cutting a thread, I wouldn't probably use one of these super cheap auto kits, although this is not mine. I used to have one, and it was good for cleaning up threads, for recovering them, but yeah, they weren't real strong, so I would never use them to cut a thread, a virgin thread. Another thing, a lot of people will use spanners or shifters on these. What happens there is you end up, because you're doing that, you pull it over and you cut the thread on the piss, you know, and wobble it through the hole, so it's no good. You should use the tool wherever you can. You will see lots of experienced guys using shifters, and you know, I'm guilty of doing it myself at work. But I've cut 1,000 threads, so I recommend using the tool if you can get in there until you've done 1,000 of them. But you know, I'm not using a shifter today because I really want it to be nice and square, because I don't want it to jump out of the original thread into the mushed up junk next to it. which is what I've done with those bolts there. I've never stuffed a thread in my life. This is my first one, so it pisses me off when I did this. These cheap things, man, they're annoying. But look, you know, you just gotta be patient. Like I wasn't yesterday. Well, I was patient, but I wasn't patient enough. Not yesterday, the day before. So this car sat here all day yesterday. But I did some other stuff to prepare for the event. And I think I'm all the way through now. So yeah, I'll just give this a couple more winds and then run a bolt through and see what happens. Okay, as you can see, I got a finger tight bolt in here. One's in alright. Follows the thread just fine. So yeah, job done. The thread has been rescued. Now I've got to get a die, see if I can recover that. I won't use that in that one, I'll use that over here, a nice fresh one, or I might use it in the passenger seat where there'll be no one in high speed racing probably. So yeah, yeah, there's one of these missing. Oh, there it is. Yeah, so I knew there were two with stuffed threads. I don't know if this one will be recoverable at all. It's pretty bad. Right there. I guess I'll just have to, yeah, get the dies and see what I can do with it. If I can't, I'll get some replacements. I do have replacement bolts, but they're not these nice black ones. So I will take the nice black ones out of the passenger seat and put the yellowy high tensile ones. The ones that I bought, the bolts that I bought for to test fit the front bar Rio are the same thread. So they're what I'll have to use. Let me try that again in English. They are what I will have to use if I can't recover these. Okay, this was one of the really bad ones. I've run it through the die and seems to have cleaned up alright. This one, a little bit manky right, just on the right on the tip. Let's run through alright. So, this one I think is really fucked. I find that soon enough. And this one here I started to run through. So you can see it's just cleaning it up. It's not cutting a whole thread. So, this one I'll put right through it. Because the ends just are a bit manky from me trying to smush them in the end. So you see it winds in alright. In fact, I might be able to run it all the way through with my fingers. No, not quite. But yeah, just, you know, chuck the ratchet on there in one hand and just give it a quick wind through. Should not need a lot of force. It's a cutting tool, not a forcing tool or a pressing tool. So yeah, should be gentle and easy and should be no drama. If I can't run these through true and square, then the thread's already too fucked to use anyway. So the bolt is fucked, so there's no harm in doing it. If I fuck it completely, it was already fucked and not usable. So yeah, just slam it in, see how it goes. If it's fucked, you gotta replace it anyway. Alright, run all these through the die. Now I'll just run them all into not the fucked one of these. Oh, it's fine. I think this is one of the really badly fucked ones before. Yeah, that's where the chunk is. That's good. And 3. I would just normally run through a nut, but I don't have a nut. So this is the next best thing. Awesome. Now to test this thread. Good-o. Right. So now I've got 4 usable nuts. The best thread I've got in that one. Worst thread in that one. No, it really won't matter. The reason I put the worst thread in that one is there's only shear load on that in case of an accident. Not that it should matter, I mean the shreds would be plenty strong enough, but triple safety. Alright, so now grab the seat. Now the rail went in by itself without any drama whatsoever. So what must happen is, under the stresses of everything being locked in, it might sort of hold the rail in a position where it doesn't want to be, which would be, you know, which makes sense. So I'm going to loosen all these, loosen the bolts at the sides, and then fit it. Then do these bolts up on the sides. These are very long bolts, 30mm or so. So there's plenty of thread in there to leave hanging out. So yeah, that's now the option. And if I've got to see if I've got any black paint. If I get some black paint, I'll paint those bits of aluminium. I have heat-proof paint. Clear and white. Yeah, black, white, clear and colour match for the car, doesn't it? But it's only flame for it, I suppose it won't matter. So yeah, I'll double check everything goes in and fits. And then I'll paint these black so they're a bit less obvious. And they don't stand out as much. I'll also probably trim them down so as they don't protrude past the bracket. Alright, so let's slam this in. Well, seat's in. It's still reasonably difficult with this loosened to get all four in. Well, the only problem is this one to this one. It would appear as though this cross member is slightly different from the 32 to the 33. That the angle's different, and therefore the flat top thing is slightly different. But yeah, I got it in. Just took some effort. The other two went in just fine once these two got started together. Yeah, so I've done all four up, and now I'm going to do these up. And yeah, before I do that, I will just jump in and triple check that I'm happy with the seating position and that I can get the seat belt on. So everything's done up, nice and tight, nice and solid. Unpack the car and take it for a drive. Seating position's pretty good. My legs clear under the wheel, my hands reach the wheel okay. My head's got enough room for the helmet, which is always the limiting factor. I actually always had to sit a little bit further back than I wanted to because of, you know, bring the seat back and down a little bit for my head to fit. Now I'm a bit more upright because the whole seat's a bit lower. But I can't go sort of any further forward, otherwise my legs will hit the wheel now. So, but yeah, as far as where everything is relative to where it should be, it's all pretty good. Legs are probably a little closer to the wheel than I'd like, but you know, that's a trade-off. I can't really go much lower at the front. I have to drill more holes to go lower at the front, which I might do, or I might just slot the hole that's there. I don't think it's a full hole width lower that I'd want to go, but the lower I go there, the more upright I get here, the closer my head goes to hitting the roof, because you got to allow for the helmet, which I'm sat in there with the helmet on, and there's, you know, I can just fit my fingers in there. Yeah, I better put the front bar on too before I take it for a drive. Reattach the front bar and take it for a quick run. Make sure it all still works. I haven't started it since the hill climb. Drove onto the trailer just fine, but it's the last time it's run. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I want to, if I can, if I get enough time today, just get in here and have a look, because there is a little bit of scraping. I may just give it a bit more of a love tap. I only scraped on the side, but I don't know, that might just be because I'm on that side.